Hello, I'm Dr. Tom, and I'd like to welcome you to this Friday's update. Yes, we are nearing the finish line to head to Cabo. It is next week, and we are so excited about joining hundreds of our Gen brothers and sisters on the beaches of the world in Cabo, in Mexico, where we will be sharing an event where we will do training. We will have level 6 training, level 7A, level 7B training. There'll be level 5 testing, and then we will all come together for the main event on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of next week. So we are truly excited and ready to be there as we are in the throes of the last minute preparations to bring together a plan that has been in play for a period of months. I will tell you that you should have received an email. So if you've not, check your spam, check your clutter, check wherever your junk mail goes to. If you have not received an email regarding dress, about the event and about the white party and the announcement, and about the dress your best, and even bringing in an island theme for the Saturday night event, where we will once again hear from our incredible Earlene Vining and the Lighthouse Women on Saturday night. And there will be dancing, it will be a party, it will be fun, and no one has more fun at these events, at any kind of event, than the people of Gen. I will tell you, we hear that from every resort, from from the bellman to the front desk to the maids that assist us. It is amazing what happens when we transcend upon a venue, and we look forward to doing that this very next week. I will tell you, I have another announcement to make, and that is that Grandmaster Ty passed and transitioned this past week. And I will tell you that we are offering our sincerest condolences to his family, his friends, and his students worldwide. What a legacy, what a man, what an accomplishment. You know, to become a world champion at virtually anything is difficult. To become a world champion in the martial arts is even more so. It is a very challenging field, and he excelled in that arena. His accomplishments were many, and we were blessed in Gen to have him as a member, to have him as someone who truly cared about Gen and loved Gen and spreading the word of Gen and talking about Gen. And for me, it was a personal satisfaction as well, in that I had met Grandmaster Ty back in the 90s when he was Master Ty, and he continued studying. He was a master at that point, and you know, had infomercials shot with Kevin, and that's how my family met him at the time. And then we, as life happens, we kind of drifted apart for a while, and we were reunited through Gen, and just another huge win by being involved in the world of Gen. And through that involvement and re-engagement a couple of years ago, when I contacted him and he came to speak at a couple of our major events and touched many of your lives, and the testimonies that you have given us and the comments are just world class, and the things that we've learned from him. You know, Grandmaster Ty was a teacher and a trainer and a coach, and sometimes that involved a tremendous amount of laughter and having fun and having good times. And I can recall the time sitting at tables laughing until your sides virtually hurt. And also, being a master meant that he understood the concept of tough love. And he, you know, the beauty of being a master is that you know which one is appropriate at an appropriate time. And that was a gift that he had, and a gift that he shared with us. And the beauty is that the training that he shared and has been able to share specifically inside Gen over the last couple of years to prepare us to carry on his legacy, to prepare students who are working in this endeavor to become masters of that trade. And I know that, that Mayla and I have had multiple conversations, and she is carrying on this legacy. As a matter of fact, she will be in Cabo with us, and we're going to do a results of people who attended our last training in Chicago, or Grandmaster's last training in Chicago for our Gen members. And so we will carry on this legacy. We will be adding things to the website. As time goes on, he did some short clips for us over the last couple of years that have not been released, and no one has seen those yet. And so we will be honoring that legacy, and we will be sharing that information with you so that each of us can continue to grow. See, Grandmaster was learning and teaching up until the very end of his physical presence here on this planet, because he believed in that. He believed in training. He believed in teaching, and he believed in allowing people to understand how good they can be, how great they can be, how to do the do's and don't do the don'ts. And he had so many phrases that will continue, that is part of the Jinn culture, and will continue to honor his presence and his teachings. And so, Grandmaster John Tai, may you rest in peace and eternal bliss. Thank you for all you've done for us. You know, it's amazing how things fit in life. And as I continue my Power for Success study with you, I will tell you that today's lesson was to be about faith in the system, and how appropriate could that be. When we look at faith and you define faith and say, well, what does faith actually mean? It's a complete trust or confidence in someone or something. It may be a belief in God or a doctrine of religion, but it's not necessarily based on proof. It is faith. It is a system of religious beliefs. And so when you talk about believing in something and believing in a system, and so you say, well, okay, what is a system? And a system is defined as a set of things working together as parts of a mechanism that are interconnected into a network. Or, better yet, and more appropriately so for our teachings in the world of Jinn, is a set of principles or procedures according to which something is done, an organized scheme or a method. You see, a set of principles or procedures according to which something is done. This is the Success Mastery course. It is our system, the Jinn system. When we talk about events, when we talk about continually learning and listening to audios, and when we talk about recognition, these are parts of our system. And I'll go more specifically into the Jinn system next week, because we're going to be in Cabo and I'll be sending you a broadcast from there. A faith in the system. You see, I'm very familiar with systems, and this is one of the things that is so attracting and attractive to me in the world of Jinn, because of my entire adult life being in Mortar Health System. It's a health care system, just as Jinn is a self-improvement system, if you will. Regardless of what category you're looking for improvement, it's a system that allows you to accomplish that. And my life study has been understanding systems, meaning that there are a series or a sequence of things that happens in trainings and building of a foundation. If you do this, then you can do this, and then you can do this, and then these things are available to you, and you can grow into this. It's all part of a system which is proven to work. It's a proven system for over 40 years, for over 10 years. This system started, and if it didn't work, it wouldn't have lasted 10 years. You see, this system is based on trainings and teachings that are thousands of years old. They fall into a system. And it's that faith in the system, or that belief in the system, that adherence to the system, that allows you to win and allows you to grow. And so, as I looked into this book, and you know, as I've talked about this, the Power for Success, that's Frank Channing Haddock, this particular part was so appropriate. It's challenging to comprehend sometimes just how spectacularly the pieces of the puzzle of life fit together and fall into place. Because this talks about the validity of your faith. Now, the validity of your faith depends upon the degrees of your honor. Remember, we talked about honor earlier in these 12 lessons that we're going through, and this is lesson 11, the faith in the system, your belief in the system. This book draws the commonality of all of the other pieces of the puzzle, all of the other things that we've talked about over the weeks and weeks and weeks that we've done this. All of those things, whether it was the physical health or the power of will or fidelity or alertness or hopefulness or courage or confidence or brain power, honor is the one common denominator that determines how well you succeed in all of these other categories. Honor. The validity of your faith depends upon the degrees of your honor. In part, the power of your faith so depends. But the larger part of the power of your faith depends upon the degrees of your honor multiplied into the degrees of the remaining magnetic qualities, the other 11 that we're talking about. It says, yet if honor be left out of this group, the whole group is demoralized and intelligent faith in the system becomes impossible. Therefore, it thus appears that honor is the prime quality of the highest magnetic power. Now listen to that again. It thus appears that honor is the prime quality of the highest magnetic power. And so when I read that, I thought, let's go back and talk about honor. Let's look at what we had reviewed, and again, it's in an earlier Friday update on honor, and what that means. And so I flipped back into the book looking for the chapter and the pages on honor itself. And this is where the puzzle of life begins to fit. Because as I flipped the book open, it turned to page 14 and 15 because there was a bookmark in there. And that bookmark was a card. A card that Grandmaster Ty gave me in this very room when we were shooting a Friday update, maybe almost a year ago. And there it was on a lesson about personal possibilities. It begins with, no man knows why they were born. And the principle in this chapter, in this book, earmarked with this card, is the truest success is but development of self. The truest success is the development of self. This is what Jin's about. This is why we're all together. Ladies and gentlemen, this is why we are a club. This is why we exist. And this is why Jin lives on no matter what's thrown at us. You know, we don't do much with business cards anymore because people have cell phones. And so what I probably did was, when he handed me this card, was to put his information into my cell phone so that I could connect and speak with him. And somehow that card ended up in this book, of which there are thousands of books behind me. And how I started on this course of study for the power of success weeks ago, like 12 weeks ago, maybe 13 weeks ago, because sometimes it took a couple of weeks for a lesson. To end up in the place where we are today shows me about a belief in the system. And that we can have a legacy, and that our legacy lives on beyond our physical existence on this planet. I believe and I have faith in the system. Next week, we'll talk about more inside the Jin system as we come to you live from Cabo. I look forward to that. I hope you have a spectacular week. I'm Dr. Tom. God bless you.